The Fianna trilogy is a series of books that provides a factually correct, yet dramatised look at the final years of Ireland's most famous warriors. It takes a sharp but honest look at those that were eventually going to become household names, such as Fionn, O'Sheen and Cuilta, and it recalibrates their lives within the context of the times. Historical truths are adhered to, but careful analysis turns much of the later Christian propaganda on its head, as the author looks for genuine reasons for the whos and whys that made up the stories of that time. The trilogy begins with a retelling of the famous pursuit of Diarmid and Grania story, and entertains a very real possibility that a people other than simply the Celts had their hands in how the events played out. It also looks critically at the power play at Tara that ultimately led to the Fianna being outlawed and declared an enemy of the people. The second book gives a truthful recounting of the famous Battle of Gowra that ultimately brought the Fianna to their end. Genuine reasons are given for different people being on different sides of the battle, so that we know that by the time everyone arrives at the scene, we understand their motivations and hopes. By the time we are knee-deep in the final part of the trilogy, we get to understand some of the leading Tuatha characters, and the time disparity that separates the land of the Celts from the land of Tir na Nog. Understanding that these are a different people with different powers to the human Celts is a key ingredient of understanding many of Ireland's ancient stories. Allowing our minds to stretch to the possibilities of different worlds experiencing time on a different level is a key factor in being able to understand that these people were not gods or fairies, but that they possessed some very real powers that we humans either lost or never had. The stories fit together in time and shine a light on Ireland's historical swan song before the adoption of Christianity in the 5th century. These are times and stories that have been rewritten in the 7th and 8th centuries to fit a Christian message and the confines that any religion will place on happenings that don't fit within its narrative. But this trilogy stands separate to the lore that these monks wrote of and brings real men and women and the events that engulfed them into a clearer focus.